Hello, I'm Frank McSheen with Square Peg Consulting at the Whiteboard. I'm a supply chain cash guide, and these are the components of the business-to-business supply chain as I see it. And there are opportunities to generate more cash in every part of this process. Let me show you what I mean. Hello, in today's session, moving our focus from cost to cash generation, we're going to talk about the important decisions we make in the buy process about whether we keep work internal, which we call insourcing, or we hire somebody else to do the work called outsourcing. And the point here is we really want to look at what's the overall return for that work and getting that work done when we compare doing it ourselves versus having somebody else do the work for us. So cost is a factor in this, and typically we look at things like hourly rates of the contractor versus our own people. We might look at the fixed costs for doing the work, sort of a flat rate, and an estimate of what it would take our people to do that. Those are important considerations to look at and to know about, but they're not the most important ones. And so we really want to take a look from moving from the cost side. We want to look to see which alternative is going to help us generate the most cash. And that's going to be based on the speed at which the work can get done and the level of results that we can get, whether we do it ourselves or we outsource it to somebody else to do that. So I've seen this in a number of different instances. IT implementations. I've seen a lot of do-it-yourself IT implementations because the hourly rate of the contractor turned us off too high, or the fixed cost for the project, the implementation project, seemed to be too high compared to what we thought we could do ourselves. And 80 to 90% of the time, it took a lot longer to do it ourselves, and the results weren't nearly what we had hoped for. And we got the transaction pieces in, reporting, data analysis, decision support almost never happened. Looking at warehousing or contract manufacturing, those kinds of things, transportation services. Do we do it ourselves or do we let somebody else do it? So what we're really looking for is, even if the contractor is a higher hourly rate, and they typically will be, or their fixed cost seems high to you, see if you can determine, based on their proposals, how fast can they get this project done or this work done, and to what level of results, and what have they demonstrated outside. Because the higher this goes, the faster we want to make that decision to outsource and not burden our people, because you're asking your people to do their job and something else, and typically both suffer in that case. Unless you can pull them out and make it a full-time focus, then we might be able to speed up enough. And if they have the capabilities internally, they might be able to get higher results. But that's a risk. And so you really want to look at the track record of the contractor, the proposed contractor, in terms of how fast they can get something done and what level of results can they attain. Because that's where the cash gets generated. And it will, in many cases, it will easily offset a higher level of cost up front. But the return will be higher. We'll have let our people keep focused on their jobs, and we get the results a lot faster, and the cash starts to generate, and the return is higher overall than it would have been doing it ourselves.